Sup, procrastinators? Look who's here! It's what?
Hello!
So, what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to go and break into Nintendo. I want to find out if they've got a new secret console they haven't announced.
But we just watched the briefing.
I know, I saw it. I still don't know what's going Hello, procrastinators!
Hello, procrastinators! Welcome to an unedited vlog. We're going to get a little bit rambling.
Special edition.
This is technically a podcast more than a vlog, but it's a vlog. So it's a vlogcast.
A vlogcast. Ah.
Right, so we just watched the Nintendo conference. We'll probably do one of these for each, but we'll do the Nintendo one now, what's fresh on our mind. I don't know what's fresh on our mind. That was the first time a product has ever been launched without us knowing exactly what was launched.
Yeah, normally when you discuss how good or how bad a conference was, normally what we're judging it on is what its content was. This is the first time I've actually come out and wanted to judge the conference on how good they were at conveying the information they had.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident there was a console announcement there.
There was.
But I didn't realise until sort of, the last 3 words.
I'll link.
We still had to go over to Kotaku to find out. And I'm not even sure how they figured it out.
I saw it and I was like, is that weird? I don't know.
Where they're going,
down there, there's a link to a bit of footage. Make sure you've watched that. It's copyright. Make sure you watch that. Basically, they revealed a console. They revealed a controller. They went, look at our new controller. It's called Wii U. Wii U? Wii U. It's called Wii U. This is our new controller. Isn't it brilliant? Oh, look at it. And here's some games playing on it. They were originally going to
call it the PU. The P-U-U.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Hey, they can call it the U-Wii. Or if they spin it round the U, then it can be called the Weed. Or the Wii D! The Wii D! That's a brilliant name. They should have used the Wii D. Nintendo, you're rubbish at everything. Or the Weed. The Weed. Anyway, no. So they were like, oh look, we have a brand new console. Look at this controller. It's a controller. It's a controller. And we're like, oh, that's and all the graphics on it were a bit HD. And you're like, well, that doesn't look like it's running on a Wii. And in all the pictures, it looks like it's running on a Wii. But it's just, oh, look at our new controller. Look at our new controller. And then they did like interviews with people, and the people go, oh, the console and the controller are brilliant. And they're going,
console?
What?
There was a console announcement. Oh, they must be talking about that next. So what happened then next, Reggie? Nothing.
It turns out that the Wii U is actually the console, or is it the name of the controller? I still don't know. I don't know what's been announced. All I know one thing is I'm not going to buy it.
It's something interesting. See, I thought this might be a really interesting idea, bearing in mind we're in the middle of a recession, so they clearly couldn't sell a really expensive new console. I thought, but hey, if you just sold
if it's got Arkham Asylum on it, Arkham City, sorry.
Oh, they have? I was just saying that
they shouldn't have done.
I thought for a second they'd been really clever by saying basically no one could afford a new piece of tech. Therefore, what we will do is design something creative, which is what they were going to have to rely on anyway. Let's design something creative that works with our current system, and we'll just ignore the fact we're woefully underpowered, because that's not going to change anytime soon. So I thought that being the case, but no, they're going to create as they say, a console to make core gamers happy, because it will, be able to compete and take cross-platform gaming for the next 2-3 years.
2-3 years. Sort of.
And then PlayStation 4 and Xbox
940 or something.
Yeah.
720 would be the right number, but they wouldn't call it that. They call it the Xbox 3 and it would confuse
720s, it would be pointing in the wrong direction. It's got to go in full revolution.
They'll call it the 1080 because they'll be on graphics. That would be nice. There's yeah. So basically, I'm not quite sure what we just had announced, but it was announced.
Yeah. You were there trying to work out where the plan was. Was it supposed to be this wonderfully? Because I mean, if all the tech, this is the other question we don't know. Is the tech inside the controller?
No, because there's a console.
Or is it in the console?
It's in the console. It just streams to the thing, but you have to have the console on.
See, because I thought that could be a clever idea, because then you could end up with really cheap. Well, obviously they're trying to break into some of the tablet market, so you could make really cheap tablets and a really cheap system. In fact, for a long time I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a tablet which basically just streams all of its information from a real computer with actual, power in it?
Well, we don't know what the power of the thing is, or what the battery life of the thing is, or if it plugs in, or how far the wireless range is, or any of that, information that Nintendo seems so.
Well, Nintendo never really.
There was zero information in that, though. Hang on. Yeah, the thing that. Nintendo, this just is a message to you, okay? If you're trying to get information across, which you failed at on every single bit of this conference, because the first bit of the conference, the translator was talking over the guy as he was speaking in the what are you doing?
Entertaining because they get bored by you.
Okay, you talk.
Okay.
So this is basically what was happening. There were two people talking at the time, and you had to try and work out which one you could hear.
However, the really important thing is that you give us some information.
Which one you can hear?
Because without that limited amount of information, you need the baseline, and they didn't provide us with that baseline. And I accept that Sony are always going to give us more information. When you kept jumping in and out, and you were trying to listen to that guy and then listen to that guy, you do need that base core. It was just too much. Because without that, you've got nothing. It was just on about
Zelda, things we already know. It was just a complete waste of time. Yeah, that was a really good example of exactly what we had to sit through.
Also, can I just ask, if the Wii is that fantastic, where the hell were the Wii releases in your press conference?
No Wii releases. Oh no, there was Skyward Sword. That's coming out on the Wii.
No, I think they were saying that was coming out on the Wii U.
That's coming out on the Wii. And all the Wii U games that were coming out are games that you've got on your PS3s and 360s anyway, so don't hold your breath. I mean, it's because they were going, launch titles. No, it's mid-2012, you won't hold your breath that long. Mid-2012, you won't hold your breath that long. But they were going, it's launch titles. We were going, wow, we had my Arkham City about 6 months after it's come out for everyone else. On probably worse graphics, on a more expensive console.
It'll probably be about the same graphics.
I don't think so.
Well, they can make the same console that Sony was making, 5 years ago? 6 years by the time it comes out? And they can make it for profit off the bat. They're even at the same price that Sony are selling, because Sony are finally now making money out of selling PlayStations. They can sell it for the same price as the PlayStation, at a competitive price, get all of the wow factor of being new, but without being substantially more expensive. Perhaps slightly more if they're going to claim that their rather cheap screen is absolutely a fortune to make, because they've played that trick before.
They have, big screens are... I mean, the two things me and Watt decided today that Nintendo shouldn't do is, I said they shouldn't go for everyone. That's my screensaver, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I said that they shouldn't go for everyone. They should focus on the casual, just focus on the casual, don't try and please everyone. And he said that they shouldn't make things that work on the 3DS and their new console, and they sort of work together really well, because that will just separate the market. And they managed to do both of those things, so well done!
It's true.
Well done, Nintendo.
I also said that if they really wanted to save things, lots of focus on computer games would be really core. Coming up with as many interesting titles, particularly for the 3DS, which sort of really hasn't necessarily had the push required, and having a heavy push. Incidentally, if anyone would like to purchase a 3DS,
a 3DS.
If you'd like to contact us in the doobly-doo...
don't call it the doobly-doo. That's Busy Waiters thing.
Okay. If you'd like to look down in the whatnot...
I like the whatnot. It's got your name in the whatnot. Yeah, in the whatnot. That's someone else's thing, isn't it?
Not that I know of.
Okay, we'll see. We'll Google it. But yeah, essentially, I wanted a game for... I decided that if they don't announce a game that I want or I've played before for the 3DS this time, I'm going to sell this because there's nothing in it for another year. And they managed to announce 5 games that I've played before.
On the other hand...
But that means I can get PSP Vita! PS Vita! PSV.
Vita.
PS Vita. Not Vita, they actually pronounced it right. Well done, them. Which is, I think, the golden child thing, but we'll get on to Sony on another vlog. That's fine.
I was going to say, they did manage to complete my Vaporware catalogue, still not releasing a decent Metroid game.
There were no new IPs. Were there any new IPs on there?
No, but you never release new IPs on a big conference, because...
yeah? Sony do it all the time. They go, hey, look at what these guys are making. I think they
not
do this
very often.
They did with all their new move things.
The
and all
only
that stuff.
time that ever really happens is if your console is in a really strong position. It's really hard to do with a new console when you're releasing new consoles, and these are both new consoles with established audiences. Once you've got an established audience, you can create new software for it, but you can't take the gamble. It's like how all of the interesting stuff came out on the PlayStation 2 was because it was so strong compared to the other consoles. You could therefore afford to take the gambles on the PlayStation 2.
PS3 is getting there though. I think PS3 is really and this new announcement is gonna. This whole thing has pushed Sony more than Nintendo.
It's pushed Sony, but I'm not sure it hasn't got more in the news for perhaps another event that wasn't quite so. Let's just say they weren't quite in the quite so good a light, and as such.
Well, he apologised for it without a teleprompter on, so it came from the heart. Jack Tretton, big up. No, this is the Nintendo one. We should be talking about
Nintendo. Yeah.
Sorry, there's only one good conference this year, and even that wasn't very good. So we'll stop this now, so we can get on to the other two. Before I fall asleep, I've been up for about 30
Nintendo,
hours.
We're disappointed.
No, I don't think I'm disappointed. I think
I was disappointed.
I'm not
I was hoping for something
surprised.
interesting.
I'm not surprised, but only because you haven't told me what I'm supposed to be not surprised about.
Okay. Can we actually have a small discussion over what we think about the new controller? Because we have sort of bypassed that.
I'm still not entirely sure what it is.
Just as they bypassed what the console was, I think it's about time we actually.
Alright, we'll mention the Wii U or the Wii U controller.
The Wii U controller. What do you think about that?
I hate it. It looks ugly and unholdable, and it looks just distinctly ridiculously ugly and horrible and evil. And I don't see loads of games throwing that functionality at anything more than, oh look, it's your DS. It's that thing I said they should do. Look, it's your DS. This is your bottom screen, but it's. I don't see it being cheap for a 62-inch screen. A 62-inch screen? Fuck, I don't think that being cheap at all.
I was thinking 62-inch screen is impressive.
6.2-inch screen. I mean, just with that little bit of information, that is not going to be a cheap controller. I mean, did they say it had motion? It had motion stuff in it. So
it's basically a Wii controller shoved in with a nice
that
screen.
thing is going to break $150, maybe $200 per controller.
See, I don't think it will. I think it will be $100. If we're lucky, it might even be $70. But it's Nintendo, so I'll earn towards 100.
I mean, for me, I own a Dreamcast, and remember Dreamcast had.
I love the Dreamcast.
Had the little tiny square, and you can have your little. Is that right? Was that Dreamcast had that?
Dreamcast did.
Yeah, Dreamcast had that, and you
so
could.
did the PlayStation though.
Yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog game, you could grow the little things.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about in the controller.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they've essentially just nicked it from Sega.
And Skies of Arcadia.
Well, the Dreamcast was a really successful console, so good thing to steal from them.
I do love the Dreamcast.
I love the Dreamcast.
It's one of my favourite consoles of all time.
Yeah, but only because it was so clever it failed.
Okay, here are my criticisms of this new system. You can tell where I might be going with this.
Hurry up, because I've already got a 10-minute limit.
Okay.
Hang on, I want to say professionalism. I can't see, there's no count on the screen.
So what I think's the problem is...
12 minute 50, oh crap!
I think the big problem is going to be that you, if you look down at your screen, I don't want big games on small screens. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't want big games on small screens. I want small games on small screens. I want big games on big screens. That's how it works. So it's crazy to want that functionality. For Wii Fit, it probably works really nicely as a how do I play this game without interfering with other things. But games consoles are supposed to interfere with other things. That's how they work. Though I understand that if you're in a sort of casual family environment, that's probably quite nice. I think as a casual gamer, it could be interesting. I really can't see it revolutionising gameplay, though.
Nor dolphing it.
On the other hand, revolutionising was a word that seems to not hold what I thought it did after the amount of times it got used in the Xbox conference.
Yes, Eric, we've got like a few seconds left before we hit 15 minutes. I just get my points quite. No. Just try hard. This is the death. Goodbye, Nintendo. You died. This was it. You're finished. That's it. We're done.
Bye!
Bye.
Procrastinators.
Yeah.